Blessings, peace, and power, everyone. Running a tiny bit late. So, it's time for the weekly forecast. Let me just invite Empress. Blessings, thank you for joining. How are we all doing today? How are we all doing today?
What's going on there?
Oh, seeing a black screen. There we go. Oh, you're looking nice.
Thank you, love. Feeling fresh today.
Yes, it is a fresh feeling today, isn't it?
Yeah, your hair look good too. Everybody feel fresh today.
yeah.
Love the hair, Daryl. I love it.
Thank you.
Decide.
Yeah.
Give us a what? All right. Yes, man. We like
I
it.
have to get it done up, man.
It looks good. It looks good.
That's it.
Hey, everyone.
All right, Days, how are you?
Do you know what? Right. Let me start with the good stuff. So, it's been very productive. This strong's been very this whole week's been very, very productive. A few firsts have happened. So Makai, my little Baba, had his first proper real cold over the last couple of days, and it was like, oh my gosh, because he's been around us, maybe had a little runny nose, but never really was ill. So we was like giving thanks and praises for that. But it's like, right, his immune system's building. So it was like the first time he was like, oh, Baba, he just had to ride it. He's fine now. He's doing so much better.
Good.
But I let him sleep in my bed. So I've kind of messed up the sleep routine situation. And then, so I'm going to have to start from scratch. But, it is what it is. And then today, I must have went to just quickly use the loo and come back. And because I left him in my bed, I thought everything was fine until I heard a tiny little thud. And I thought, oh my gosh, I wonder if he fell off my bed. And then I saw him sitting down on the floor just smiling at me. I said, how did you get down? I wish I had one of those, the mummy cams. I so wish I had a mummy cam so I could see how you get out of the bed. I want to know what you did, whether it was like you slid your legs down first or, there's all kind of stuff. But he's doing a whole load of new things, like he's standing and trying to do stuff. So it's right in line with this whole spring newness vibe. There's a lot of firsts going on, but all's been well. Productive, not a lot of sleep, but still been able to maneuver through that. So that's kind of what the vibration's been. What about yourself, my love?
That is good, Do you know what? You would be surprised how kids get on the floor. You'd be surprised. I remember once seeing my son just throw himself off, and I was like, and then he just got up. He's like, hi. Yeah, he was like, hi. I done it. That's how I wanted to be. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And still to this day, he has that mentality. Trust me, he just does stuff, and I'll cuss him, but I have to go. You know what? Sometimes I have to try to hold back, but it's hard because you're like your parent, like that. But so it goes sometimes, For me, I'm good. I'm at this kind of shut up and drive stage of life where it's like, I've kind of cut off everything that was giving me like big boosts of excitement. I'm saying I'm going to work. And then when I've actually achieved something,
then celebrate.
Let that boost come. So I'm really coming to that realization that frustration drives positive action. That's why I posted it yesterday. Because sometimes I'm just like, man, usually I'll be doing this, I'll be buying a spliff or I'll be doing this. It's like, I'm not doing that no more. So it's like, let me plan a business. Let me start working on my course. Let me go do, like today I will move my oven, to clean. Because I was annoyed this morning. I was like, let me use the energy, I'll move the whole oven out for this spring clean. So, yeah, it's good. It is literally good. It's just kind of like trying to be stoic for the next year, because there's just things I want to release that I realize it's been in me too long. Yeah. So
I resonate with that.
I'm trying to just, it's just like get it out. I want to die empty, So trying to release everything. So yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Kind of just then. I get excited when I'm doing these things. This is like, yes, like a boost. But then when I finish, it's like, oh, okay, back to the hustle. You know, back to typing up and doing all of the good stuff.
I feel you. What a beautiful reflection. Just beautiful. And even when we were talking about, I just moved the oven and hey, I was on one as well, digging out cupboards and just sorting out this. I all found things that I was like, why have I still got this? I'm talking things that are just like, there's no need for me to have them. Yes, I thought at the time it'd be like, you know what, it'd be good to keep this. I can use it for another time. And there's no other time. Throw it away. Throw it away. So I get what you're saying with that whole cleaning out the vibe. You know what I mean? When I came in, I was like, ooh, I said, it feels airy in here, doesn't it? Yes, I have done some decluttering and we're going to continue.
Oh my days. I hope everybody is doing this decluttering, you know. It is the right time.
Yeah.
You know, so definitely get it done for the summer solstice. I was wondering, do you mind if I can do the reading bit first? Just because it's only one thing happening.
I'm on what you're on, bro. Yeah, man. Roll with the energy.
So, yeah, you know what? There's not much happening this week besides what's happening today, guys, because it is the spring equinox. So, you know, the spring equinox, what it really represents is when, you know, first day of Aries, start of a new astrological year, right? But this is a time of healing. You know, if you think about the time of year, we would just come out of winter, you know, and we would have been eating like root vegetables, maybe depending on where you live, it would have been like salted meat, you know, nothing's really growing at these times. And so the body would have collected all of this energy, right? All of this stuff that just needs to be cleared out. And so the spring equinox kind of represents the first time when people might have been going back outside and saying, okay, it's ready for me to go and start a new year, for me to start planting my seeds, you know, tending to my garden, chopping the weeds out, you know, coming up to that new moon time when you would start planting, you know, if he was in regards to that. So what's been on my mind recently, you know, from the full moon as well was representing this. This is a special time of year, but for this particular one, it's all about clearing out the rubbish, guys. Now, if you see something and it's been in your yard for 2 years and you ain't used it, that shit where you'll give it away. That's the message. You know, it is kind of this time when we're meant to be going out and doing new things, getting ready for all of these blessings that are going to be coming this year, especially at this time, you know, because I remember mentioning the last couple of weeks, this whole Neptune Jupiter conjunction that's happening. You know, guys, look, the window ain't long for this, you know. Like I say this very, like, usually I'm like, yeah, do what you want. What the window for blessings is open until about June. And then we go back to the same vibe we had the last 2 years, which is Saturn Uranus square. So what's happening right now is we're meant to be clearing our stuff out and saying to the universe, look, I don't even know if I should have dashed this out, but if I dash it out, I'm going to have faith that you're going to give me something better.
That's right.
You know, I'm going to have a faith in myself and with the universe to just give you what it is that you need so that you can enact on your will. Because again, Aries, this is the time that is your willpower is meant to be used right now. You know, your character, you know, depending on which house it's in, again, you know, have a look and say if it's in, like, for example, the 5th house of creativity, maybe you're meant to start something new, you know, whether it cards to what you're creating, how you're dealing with your children. Right, like mine is in the 5th house. So I was like, cool, taking no game today. We're gonna go walk through a forest, you know, go get some food, sit down in the park, have our shoes off, and we're just doing that. No, something different, trying to be more active, right? Because this is the time when we can go out and we can be active, do some jumping, you know, get the lymphatic system moving. It needs gravity. Go out, do whatever it is that's active. I know there's so much things going on today as well, guys. You know, we've got that chai tea in Battersea Park that my friend is doing as well. Like, there's so many things for us to do today. But remember, it's not just for one day. You know, take the energy that people are showing you and go forward with it. Start something new, you know, because this is the time to reset. It's a new year. So what we learn today and what we set forward for this period of time will really last us for about 12 months. So you can set who I want to be, the character, not per se the results. Don't focus on what you want to get. Focus on who you want to be. And then what you get will come from who you are, because we're human beings, but a lot of time we focus on the doing. So focus on the being. I am going to be consistent this year in X, you know, so that and then it's not even so I can get Y. It's just I want to be consistent in X. Do it for you, right? What you really want to do. And then just watch what the universe gives you back. And trust me, I've tried this for the last, like, say, 4 weeks. And you know what? It's just been pure blessings. And you've been a part of it, you know, like with the meditation and everything. You get blessed more than you can imagine when you decide to focus on the character and not the things, you know, balance out everything that we're doing and say, well, look at my character, have a look at your chart, see what is the most prevalent planets or elements and energies that's in it, and say, let me focus on actually being the version of myself, my spirit decided for me to be, you know, because we get distracted. We all do. We have the TV, we have the Instagram, we have the alcohol, we have the drugs, we have the adverts, you know, we have social media. We've just been taken so far away from who we're meant to be. So this is a time that we can reset, clear out the junk and say, this is who I'm meant to be, you know, like selfishly, like I want to use that word, be selfish with it. Like say, I'm going to be this person because I need to be this person. I'm going to create this course, or I'm going to go out and do this product, or I'm going to start this business. It's not for you. Nah, I'm doing this because I have something in me that needs to come out and represent itself on earth through me, so that when I pass on, I don't have the dreams, you know, of what I should have been. Like I've had this really clear image of passing on, and everything I was meant to do, the person I was meant to be, is shown to me when I'm dead. And say, this is who you could be. And I didn't do it. And I was like, no.
I know
guys,
that feeling.
Yeah, and I've been seeing it during my meditations, you know, just have these meditation, guys, and really look at the highest ideal of yourself. The window is open on levels that I just can't even explain. I've been feeling it. It's been hitting me. If I can feel it, anybody can feel it. You know, none of us are that special that we're feeling things that the universe, you know, it doesn't work like that. We are all special, and the higher self is speaking to us all right now. But just make sure that you're willing to selfishly do what you need to do, because when you approach it from that, all of the things that are distracting you becomes easy to put away, because you're focusing on what you really need to do, what you really want out of life. So take this time to really do that. Go outside, get in touch with nature, take your socks off. It's all right how your foot look, it don't matter, you know. And really reconnect to who you are. And the next couple of weeks, guys, we're going to go out after we've done the clearing. We have a new moon meditation in Aries where we're going to sit down, we're going to write new things in our journal, we're going to put out this character into the universe, and over the next 12 months the universe is going to create for us blessings that we have never even imagined could happen. But yeah, I'll leave it with that, because yeah, that's what I've been feeling. It's like heavy but good energy.
Facts. Facts. That was whew. Hey, I just need a moment for that to just digest. Oh, wow. Yeah. And like you said, it resonates with the whole energy. Like I started off with, there's been some beautiful developments, but boy, has there been some little struggles. Like I said, the lack of sleepers has been like, you know, but there's been much beautiful things to celebrate, much great things to kind of say, look, things are going. And I love the fact that, like you said, this is the time to start saying, right, who am I? And who am I becoming? And the type of person I want to become does this, and they get up this hour, and they eat this time, you know, and they spend their time doing this and this and that, you know, elevates them and grounds them and this and that. And sometimes we kind of, you know, we need to get poetic with it. Like even listening to how you even said it in that way. It was so poetic. It was so, it didn't sound dry like, you know, do gotta do and da 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 da. This is the time. It was more like, it's hopeful. Like, be creative with who you are becoming. Don't limit what you can look like based on what the history is, or what the, you know, what do they call it? The socialization of yourself, or how you've kind of come up. That neither comes into place when you are developing and when you are creating. All of that is just something at a base, and then you work from that, you know. And I'm always mindful of never fully disregarding the past, you know, because there's some great things that led you to this point, but you just have to, you know, kiss the old self kindly and say, you know, thank you very much, you brought me to this point, and see you later. I'm about to go and do something brand new on your ass. I'm gonna surprise you. You know, so the old self is like, hold on. Yes, that's right. That's right. This is what upgrades look like. You know them way there. And don't expect anything necessarily to look the same. And like what Daryl was saying about, it's not necessarily the outcome and the results, but who you are becoming, and actually watching that growth in progress. Oh, lovely. And then you've got to be tender with yourselves, guys, throughout this process. All right? Because tenderness has come up as the overall theme. So tenderness, all right? And this is a number 40, and, you know, for those who do the numerology stuff. Right, so the energy of tenderness activates our capacity to open our hearts and approach the world and each other with gentleness and care. I love that. Yeah? So this is the energy, being tender with yourself throughout this change. It's not a, oh my gosh, this week I didn't do everything off the list. Oh, I'm such a terrible, worthless person. I should be so further along on my spiritual evolutional journey. And it's not that. It's tender. I am growing. I am adapting each day. You know, and the days that I falter, I learn so much more wisdom in that moment that I can bring to my next task, my next phase. You know, and that's the energy. It's not a beat up yourself type of vibe. Okay, peoples, it's not that. Okay. And the tenderness energy is around our emotional attachments. So that could be family, but we also have the lovers here, which is a number 6. You know, so we're all things rebuilding and togetherness, and also, what's the word for it? Problem solving. So even with you have your problem solving situations happening, be tender with yourselves and others at this time throughout this, because, you know, you want a little bit of support throughout this time yourself. So do put out what you want. Put out what you want back. You know, if you want an inner standing, be inner standing to somebody else as well. You know, you can't just have, you know, you want your needs met, and then when other people's looking for your, they're a bit nice, it's like, well, it's a energy balance thing right now. Yeah. So be mindful about that as well. And your decision making, allow yourself time to look at your decisions in a practical way, but also in a way that is, yes, like I like that energy of thrusting yourself forward, but do it in a way that it's not going to cause too much discomfort to everyone around you. Just to say, for those who are on their militant stance, not everybody is on the same page as you, so there might be some flowing and ebbing and flowing going on due to, well, I'm not quite there yet, slow down. It's like, come on, man, this is where we go. I'm running in this 50 meter hike, and take your time. Those who are coming along, you just say, right, meet me at this point, yeah, and we're going to have a little break. So you can take your little time, so it don't feel jarring to trying to pull people, because there's an energy where you kind of have to pull certain people, and not because they're not there yet, it's mainly because you have a different focus. And like Daryl was saying about the different houses, we all have different parts of the journey that we're working on, and it's not always going to mirror the same thing. So someone might be militant around their health right now, and others are more focusing on inner peace. So they're not so much about the outside and the outside appearance. They're in the inside. They're inside themselves right now, and they're picking away at the things that need to be dealt with. So everyone's going to be doing different things, but the overall energy is that everybody's evolving, but in different ways. So be compassionate and tender in that time. And this is why tenderness is coming up, to say people are doing different things, for different reasons, but the outcome or the destination is pretty much the same thing, is what I'm hearing. So be gentle with that, because it might not look like how you want it to look, but work is being done in the background. Yeah. And we've got the Three of Wands energy, and this is around watching your ships come in. So watching, so the same thing like Daryl was saying at the beginning, which was beautiful. Just be, and then see what happens. The Three of Wands speaks about the actions that you've taken, and what's going to be the outcome then? And then seeing it coming up like, oh, things are just working nice. And, you know, I didn't have to fight for that. And there wasn't a lot of resistance. It just, you know, I let things flow, and look at how things are flowing for me. And that's the energy. And I love the fact that the Three of Wands has come up, because that's one of my favorite cards, actually, because I'm a kind of anxious person. So if I have tasks coming up, or I've been given responsibility of something, I'm so in my head about wanting to make sure that it's done, that sometimes I don't enjoy the process as much as I could do. And the Three of Wands says, you've done what you've done, whatever action that you took, as long as the intention was from a place of love and forward movement, the other stuff is not your business. You've done your bit. Let the universe take the wheel and run with the energy that you already came with, because you already, you know, you were prepared. You've done the action. Now we're going to take the rest and do the final furlong for you. So it's not so much of a doing energy. It's a working with spirit energy. Yeah. So it's not so much heavy lifting. It's not so much having to do a big Jesus thing. It's not that vibe. It's right. I'm going to hand that over to source. This part me want to deal with. Deal that one to source, this me want to deal with. Let the ancestors deal with this problematic thing, this me want to deal with, so that you are delegating. In the same way that we delegate in our day-to-day, we can delegate in our spiritual realms. And that's the energy. Sometimes we don't remember that, and we feel like we've got so much to do. Realistically, there are so many energies around you. Just like, put me to work, I'm here. I've been sitting on the bench. You're joking. You know what I could be doing for you right now? Listen. Just give me the word, you know. Some of the energies, they will help you, yes, but you see, when you give them the word for go, watch the levels. Watch the levels when you say, all right, I'm ready to surrender the thing, and just, right, I've done my bit, handed it over to source. Like you said, then watch the blessings just come and just multiply. You know what I'm saying? So we have the, and as well, Daryl, it came to me the other day. I'd love for you to, when you do your daily videos, because I'm so, you know, I'm learning. I'm very early in this astrology, but I love my moonology deck, and every time I'm reading, so it's like even the books, like it's like it don't give it justice. So I need to have your version, yeah, of what these things mean with the last quarter moon, waning moon. I don't know all of those in the full extent of it. When it comes up, I can get a little information, but I'd love to hear your breakdown on it and your little reflections around it as well. Because sometimes when you read things, it's for your interpretation as well. And as though, you know, it's like I get it, but it's like I don't really get it. I get it, but I feel like if you dropped it now, would I get it?
Okay. Yes.
So just a little tidbit. That is something that I was reasoning with myself, like, I'm not going to get Daryl to explain this thing, you know, I would like to know for myself properly. But anyway, I digress. I just needed to bring that out. So this card here, we've got from the Moonology deck. This is the manifestation deck, and it says the last quarter moon in Cancer, take a breather. So with that energy, with watching your ships come in, take a breather. Do not worry about the outcome of them. Just find yourself in a space where you are prepared to take moves when it's necessary to make moves. But take a breather in the actual control of every outcome. That's what they're stressing to me at the same time. Oh, full moon in Leo, and then you can go wild. Then you see, one should actually let things go now. Then I say go wild in the Isles. And it goes with what you said earlier. Then you can celebrate. Then you can say, well, I've done this. I'm about to go and give myself, you know, this amount of time or that amount of praise, or whatever it is that you can, you know, you do to kind of keep yourself motivated. you know. But in those moments when you're waiting or you've done an action, focus on another thing so that you are not so action. That's the take a breather. Take a breather for that. That's already done. You've left that to source. You've done your bit. Now on to the next thing. And you're not so worried about the outcome of the other thing. It's that Three of Wands energy. And then the full moon in Leo says, go wild. Then you can go wild. Yeah. Create. Do something new again. Show up and shock yourself again, and everybody else for that matter. And that's the energy, you know, you feed into that kind of newness energy, this reinvention, you know. And then we have lastly the first quarter moon in Aquarius, trust the universe. And I couldn't have said it sweeter than that. That's what the energy's been this whole reading, really. Trust the universe for that. Yeah, trust that it's about co-creation. That's what we're doing. We're co-creating with spirit and with the universe. And we're co-creating with each other, you know, and that's exactly what's going on. We're all interconnected and we're all supporting each other on our expressions and our growth. So I want to quickly get a love activation. All right. Ooh. Okay, so we have kindness. You are a humanitarian made of love, and you are able to share that energy with others. See? So that shares these energy again. You know, once you've taken that time and you've got something to share it. You know, but there's this energy about being tender and putting yourself first, and that's the first kindness. Really. The first kindness is to yourself so that you can pour from a cup that is full and plentiful. And you're not feeling drained and taken for a ride. And just riding out my energy. You know what I'm saying? It's you feel good. You're being good to yourself and you're being good to others in that. And then you can go ahead and be that humanitarian when you look after oneself. You've got so much more to give them. You know, and I love that kind of energy. Lastly, let's get a gentle hug from the soul. Let's see what this. If you've got words of affirmation or words of encouragement for this week, for the collective, for the fam. Thank you. Ooh, okay. Right, so remembrance of people come in and out of my life for a reason. Yeah? And you can be tender with that idea and tender with the fact of letting go. It can be very difficult. It can be very harsh, especially if you are the one being let go of. Yeah, sometimes it's hard. And you're just like, oh, okay, you know. But be understanding that everybody's journey may not need you in it at this leg. You know, thank you for helping me grow to this level. You know, thank you for listening to me in a time when I felt dark. Thank you, you know, throughout that season. But this new season, this next leg of this journey, I have to do this alone. Or I have to do this around different types of people. I have to rub shoulders with different types of energies. I have to evolve. I have to move. I have to turn into this butterfly. I have to. There's no two ways about it. It's painful, but I've got to move. It's that type of energy, and it's tender. And it's loving, and it doesn't have to always be cutting. It doesn't have to be mean, and it doesn't have to be like, you know, yeah, you ain't good for me, you toxic. But I can let you go with love. I can let you go with love. I know you healing like I'm healing. You ain't got all the answers either, have you? You know what I'm trying to say? We're all just trying, you know? And that's the tender energy. Work with it like that so that it doesn't hurt so much and that it's more free-flowing. And it's kind and gentle to both involved, you know, and you let that energy go with love. And then lastly, I deal with obstacles. I deal with changes and obstacles in my life from a place of love. Amen for that. I deal with challenges and obstacles in my life from a place of love. There you go. Says it all again. And Divine's just saying, yeah, handle you, do you, but let it go with love. Everybody's trying to do what they can do. And they may not be where you're at right now, but meet them where they're at. And if you can't meet them where they're at and they've got to go, then they've just got to go. List them on their journey. It doesn't have to be so hard. And it don't have to be so rough. So, yeah, PPOs, it's a gentle hug today. And I love the fact that it's a soft kick up the behind. Do you. But it's not oops upside your head. It's a, all right, so what did you learn now, sweetie, after you done braids up your knee? What did you learn? Slow down, Yeah. Maybe don't run out into the road. You look where you're going. Yeah. Never mind. Be careful. Yeah. It's that type of energy, you know? That nurturing, come on now, do better now. You know better, do better, all right? You know? And I love the fact that it's warm because, like you said, we've gone through a lot of rocky. So I love the fact that there's a tenderness coming in because we all need that little bit of tenderness. And it's like, okay. And then you feel a bit more strong again because, you know, someone acknowledged the pain, you know? And it's like, okay. And then you can go ahead, the Graisley. Yeah, maybe you got a lollipop or maybe, you know what I'm saying? Or just that hug or that right word at the right time was enough. But this is what divine's doing for us. So every time you have a pickup in energy, when you're feeling low, just recognize that that's divine giving you that gentle, never mind. It's all right. Just carry on. Yeah, never mind. So that's the kind of energy that's coming off, my lovely. So be good to yourself and each other and put yourself first again, because numero uno. Yeah, numero uno. If you look after this person, yeah, everybody else benefits. Everybody else benefits. So, yeah, that's me.
I love that. That was like packed with stuff. I've almost got 2 pages worth of just notes. But I feel like the most important one you were saying was when you said open your heart and being tender with yourself in this time. Because, like I said, we've come through that hard time and the best versions of ourselves start to speak to us. And when that happens, sometimes, you know, maybe this is just me, but for me, it's like when I saw what I felt I could be, I almost felt inferior at the beginning. Because I was like, oh, I could be doing this, I could be doing that. But then it was like I had to come to that realization that, Daryl, you're still doing good.
That's right.
You know, and that's the most important thing, that you're still doing all right. And even if you're not doing all right, you can be doing all right, you know. So open up your heart. I love to take a break bit as well, you know, especially in this this spring equinox, taking that time, you know, just to go into nature, understand and maybe watch nature a bit and understand how growth really works. It don't make no noise. It's just consistent. It just happens. You know, like my snake plant had 2 babies, like 2 small ones that are growing out. And every day they're getting bigger. And I'm like, how? I don't see you grow, but the next morning I wake up, you're a completely different size. And that's kind of how nature is. You know, when you be the person you're meant to be, the growth, you may not even notice it until one day when you review it and then you look and you say, there's a real change. I ain't that person anymore. You know, the results are different. My bank account looks different. My relationships look different, you know. And another thing we were talking about, which I really liked, was the remembering that people come in and out of your life for a reason. You know, I've been doing a lot of research on aspects, and the 11th house of friends, it actually is a superior sextile to the ascendant, which is who you are, it's your character. Did a video on it yesterday, guys, so, you know, watch and share. But it literally was saying that the people you connect to feed in harmoniously to who you are. You know, and it's actually called the house of good spirits. You know,
say that one more time. Say that one more time. That hit deep. Say it one more time. It's the house of what?
Good spirits. You know, same. I thought that name was banging, and it really kind of showed me that your friends, and it also had your hopes and dreams in the 11th house, which was kind of like, why? But then you kind of recognize that my friends and the people I keep around me actually feed into my hopes and dreams, you know? So when you are at a certain place in life, it's okay to have friends that mirror that, because that's where you are. But as you level up, sometimes, you know, you just have to recognize that certain people, you have to just, you know, we don't run like that anymore. You know, you can't be the smartest person in the room, you know, because then you're in the wrong room. And so as you're leveling up, you're meant to be encouraging your friends to level up, you know, but if they don't, you know, and they want to stay because that maybe that's their portion at that particular part of their life. It's not even a bad thing. It's just you're trying to, you know, make it in certain ways, and they're like, I don't want to make it in that way. You know, I want to make it when it comes to, I don't know, I want to be a great cook, and you want to be a businessman. You know, they want to be a stay-at-home mom. You want to be an entrepreneur that's that strong Black woman that makes millions. You know, neither is less. You know, it's not about things being less. It's about, do they align? And that's what I think this was really just saying to me, is that, does it align? And that usually is a challenge. It's a challenge to be alone. It's a challenge to say, I'm going to sleep certain time, and none of my friends are waking up when I wake up. None of my friends are going to sleep when I go to sleep. So I feel lonely. And it's like, you have to ride through, because eventually you always will meet people that resonate with you. But there's a law of vibration. It's the father of the law of attraction. And what it says, that everything vibrates, right? And things that vibrate on the same level get drawn together. So if you become the person, right, don't try to do what the person would do. That's not what you need to do. You need to become the person, which means you need to recognize where you are and take small steps to be that person, so that the people that you need just come to you naturally. You know, you don't run out, you know, do you know what I mean? Like, you just be that person. If you're an extrovert, be an extrovert, right? But don't try to force a particular person to be your friend. Just be an extrovert. Reach out to the people, and whoever receives you the way you're meant to be received, you say, good, you're for me. The person is like, you're weird. All right, cool, you're not for me. You know, if you're an introvert and you're a more creative person, just create and release as you create and release. Don't do the extroversion if that's not for you, because as you do what you're doing, the people will always respond in turn. You know, and that's what I was kind of getting from this, you know. And then you had that full moon in Leo, do you know what I mean, which would be the Leo Aquarius axis, right, which is about creation and then putting that into groups.
I like that.
Creation, putting it into groups. So guys, if you haven't already, you know, Dream Aurora House, you know, if you haven't already, you know, jump on the Mastery Network that my other friend Mikkel makes as well, if you haven't already, you know, and just connect to the people that are in alignment and they're doing the same things. They're talking about spirituality. They're talking about being the best version of themselves. Don't settle for the friend that just calls you and wants to talk about drama. If that's you, though, if you need the drama in your life, you know, because we all, then do that. If you don't, then don't do that. You know, and so that's literally what I got from that. Is just do you know, to the fullest of your ability. But yeah, I'm gonna plug some stuff, because I've been doing a lot of work over the last couple of days. So we're going to be having the new moon in Aries. So we're going to be doing another meditation, guys. Look out for that. The event will be made in the next couple of days. And I'm also looking to make a course on how to understand your chart. This is not going to be, you know, something full of jargon, because I feel like it's really made inaccessible, because people do not understand how simple some of these spiritual sciences are. So I'm trying to break it down to the point where you could look at your chart and understand the why. That why is Aries like this? Why is Taurus like this? And so when you look at the chart, you have a good understanding that you can read it. And then you could look at what's going on in the sky, and you're no longer afraid of a Mercury retrograde. You understand it. So I'll be putting out the tickets for that, I think, next week. You know, I'm giving myself a week to make it. If you guys have any questions, also let me know. And I'm starting back up my life coaching. I've been very quiet on that side, but yeah, I've just had that call to say that it is really important. My life coaching is a bit different. We look at your chart, we look at what's important, we look at the elements that are in your chart, and then we try to build a life around that, so that you are really actually living a life that is for you. So there's certain things you might hear me say in a life coaching session that people are like, Rati, Daryl, you saying this? And I'm like, yeah, don't listen to these people telling you this, you know. It don't work for you. You know, depending on what elements that you see in the chart, it depends on how you move. So if anyone's interested in that, I'm making a questionnaire today. Just DM me. I can send you over the questionnaire or ask you about some of the important parts of your life, clarity, productivity, other things like that for high performance. And then, yeah, we'll create a plan and I'll hold you accountable. And trust me, guys, I don't play. So if you want me to hold you accountable because you want someone to hold you accountable, call me. If you want me just to make you feel better, then you wouldn't want a life coaching session with me. So
you heard it here first, folks. If you're about that life, holla.
That is it. So yeah, you know, plug your stuff as well.
Oh
You do a
my
lot.
goodness. Yeah, that hit me. I was like, oh my gosh. So I was like, yeah, I think I should benefit. But are you ready though for Daryl? But I had to be accountable, not to be like, oh, so what happened was I was feeling really tired that day. I was like, no, we ain't trying to let that fly. I started to panic. But this is what happens, guys, when we are changing. If there's a panic that sets in where it's like, I'm going to be taking away the safety blanket that is, you know, whatever it is that helps you not do the things, or the excuses that you use not to do that thing, you know, or the self-image that we have, that we continue to go back to that default setting. So again, with the new moon coming up, this is how we're going to actually start really tailoring it. And I'm going to focus my meditation on that self-image, so that we are meditating on that, we're visualizing on that, and we are affirming and confirming as we're moving on who we are becoming. You know, so yes, yeah, readings are taking place. There's Reiki going on right now. I'm starting to do my Reiki. If you check my link tree, you can book sessions. And I'm all about the healing, and it's beautiful when you actually can feel what you're giving as well, and it's not just a feedback situation like, yeah, that resonates. It's different when I can feel the aura of a person. Yeah. For people, the power is real. You know, we're all doing this on a different level. Yeah, but I'm tapping into it from like Daryl saying with the life coaching and his charts. I'm focusing on the energy on this. But we're all doing the same type of work. So, you know, the tidbit is utilize those around you. Daryl and myself have got things that you can utilize, you know, help you along the journey. Come for that healing. And Reiki is not just about healing, you know, physical ailments and stress and stuff like that. It's literally healing your actual womb space for you ladies as well. Healing on a real cellular level. And we can do this along sessions. It doesn't have to just be one time, but you can just focus on one area. I can just focus on one area, and I can send that to you distance. So you don't have to be sitting next to me to enjoy that. But obviously, you know, my energy one-on-one is a next level all in itself. So, you know, we can work it out. You know what I'm saying? But like I say, utilize the people around you, because there's a reason why the creator put you around these people. So utilize one another, you know. And yeah, that's what I'll say. Come for the services, because they're there. That's what I'm saying.
Love that. You forgot to talk about your YouTube channel, guys. You need to like, comment, and subscribe on the YouTube.
Thank you, because it needs to grow out here. I'm dropping gems up in there, you know, and you're missing out hard. Thank you, Daryl. Yes, the YouTube channel.
No worries. You have to make sure it's plugged as well. Guys, we want to thank you all for coming. And, you know, I always finish like this. Remember that you are perfect by design. We'll see you again soon.
Big up. Thank you for joining.